There's been so much positivity lately. We recently went out to Jonathan Morrison's for TLD today and had a really good time, and I got to share my weight loss story, and tons of people came outpouring, sharing their own stories on Twitter, in the YouTube comments, even sending me personal emails. You know, after all this positivity, I think it's time to finally bask in the glory of the negativity. Let the rays come down and bask me in the negativity that is the Pixel 3 XL. We lived through Beautygate. We lived through ChargeGate. We lived through the 10Rs resolution gate when the phone isn't even out yet. But, you know, reviewers have these phones and they do have pictures of them, and there is a clear gate on the Pixel 3 XL, and that is ugly gate. That is notch gate. And just to put it completely out there, the Pixel 3 XL is a design failure. Now, I'm only talking about the Pixel 3 XL here. There is also the Pixel 3, which has a more standard design. It actually looks a little bit dated compared to some of the bezel-less phones we've been seeing from other manufacturers around, but it is a just regular standard design, has top and bottom bezels, and it actually has a slightly bigger screen inside of those bezels. So if you're coming from a Pixel 1 or a Pixel 2, you'll actually be getting more screen real estate in the Pixel 3. Where my main gripe comes in is actually just with the Pixel 3 XL itself and the horrible design that Google went with. The notch on the Pixel 3 XL is just big. It cuts into the phone too much on the top. It just looks really bad. They even have the cameras positioned so it kind of makes a face at you as you're looking at it. And it just looks awful in all of these pictures. Even in the hands-on, people are saying that the notch is a lot more intrusive than, say, something like the iPhone X's notch or some notches from other manufacturers. The way it just cuts into that display, it's just a little too much that it kind of really gives the effect that you're dividing the screen in half on the top, where you really don't get that with the iPhone X. It's a little wider on the iPhone X, but I much prefer that design decision rather than cutting in so far into the screen. Now, I'm not inherently against notches. This is probably the ugliest notch I've seen on a smartphone yet, but aside from that, I'm not against the notch. I've made a video defending the notch actually a year ago, and I actually said that Apple was right to include the notch on the iPhone X because it represented the best compromise for the design. See, with the iPhone X, Apple did an edge-to-edge screen going all the way around, and they could have left this top part full of black bars and not had a notch but have a big black bar on the top, but I think they're rather smart to go all the way edge to edge on all four corners of the phone, and it kind of creates this almost full screen effect with the only compromise being the top part of that notch, and in real world use it just kind of disappears into the background. You rarely notice it, but it gives Apple extra screen real estate. Now, the reason why Apple had to include that notch was to include all of the complex sensors and arrays for the Face ID system and the front-facing camera. The main reason I'm against the Pixel 3 XL notch is it doesn't have really any reason to be there. It doesn't have the complex Face ID system inside of it. It actually has the same front-facing camera and same front-facing speaker that's found in the normal Pixel 3 design. So there's nothing really special being added into that notch on the top of the Pixel 3 XL. If you get a normal Pixel 3, you're getting the exact same technology packed into the Pixel 3, but the Pixel 3 XL just only stretches those screens to the top corners to achieve that 6.3-inch display rating. But there's really no other reason for the notch to be there. There's no complex sensor array like Face ID, and everything that the Pixel 3 has, the Pixel 3 XL has the same exact specs. So it's the same front-facing camera, the same front-facing speakers, the same rear camera. The only really major difference is that screen size. Okay, you might be going, okay, more screen, that's never a bad thing. I might put up with the notch for a little bit more screen, that's fine. You like the notch on the iPhone X, which gives you more screen, so why not get the Pixel 3 XL with the increased screen real estate going into the top corners? And that just comes to my next point, is that on the iPhone X, I told you that Apple decided to stretch the screen to the absolute limit on the bottom here. There's something small like this little black bar, but they actually folded the display into the back of the phone. On the Pixel 3 XL, you still have a big chin at the bottom, and we've seen other manufacturers say that they can't fold the display into the back like the iPhone can, and they have a chin, and I've said in the past those phones don't really represent the design language of the iPhone X by going corner to corner, but even then, those phones actually have smaller chins than the Pixel 3 XL. The chin on the Pixel 3 XL it's really quite pronounced. It is a big bottom bezel, so there's really no reason for Google to be adding that extra screen real estate to the top of the phone when they could add it to this bottom part of the chin. It doesn't really make sense to me why they're stretching it to the top when they could be losing it on the bottom of the phone and not cutting into the display at all. Now I know what you're thinking. If you're a Pixel fan, you're probably going, but Greg, did you know that you could turn off the notch? Yeah, I've seen the photo floating around that you could actually turn off the Pixel 3 XL notch, but when you turn off the Pixel 3 XL notch, it just makes the top of the phone black bars. They don't even put the battery indicator in there, the time indicator, or any of your active icons like you might find with other phones where you're able to disable the notch, like on the LG V40. So when you turn off the notch on the Pixel 3 XL, you just get a bigger black bar on the top, which begs the question, why did you buy the Pixel 3 XL? You could have just went with the normal Pixel 3, saved $100, and you don't have to deal with the ugly notch design, and you're getting the same exact specs that you would find in the Pixel 3 XL. You're getting that in the Pixel 3. And if you plan on turning off that notch, if you don't like that notch at all, I really recommend staying away from the XL version of this phone and just sticking with the normal Pixel 3. You see, my main argument isn't that you shouldn't buy a Pixel 3 per se, it's that you shouldn't buy a Pixel 3 XL. And I have nothing against the inner specs of these phones. I actually hear that the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL actually fixed a lot of problems with the Pixel 2 XL with that bad screen that it had, that apparently the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL actually have really, really good screens in them, so that's a huge plus. They're supposed to have really fast processors in them, the latest Snapdragon processors. And of course, everyone knows that the Pixel phones usually have really good cameras in it, and from the early impressions I'm seeing online, the Pixel 3 is no exception to that rule. Apparently it has a really good camera. My main argument to you guys, if you're Apple fans, you're probably not getting a Pixel 3, and to be honest, my channel caters a little bit to Apple fans, but my argument to any Android people watching is not to consider the Pixel 3 XL, because the notch on that really doesn't have a reason for existing. I think you're gonna get a worse experience out of it. You're paying an extra $100 for no other extra features, and especially if you plan to turn off the notch, if you plan on putting that black bar on top, there's really no reason for you to buy the Pixel 3 XL. I would just stick with the normal Pixel 3 and save $100. And I know, your first comment's gonna be, Greg, you own an iPhone XS Max that has a notch on it. Why are you dissing the Pixel 3 XL notch so much? And that's because the notch on the iPhone X, the iPhone XS, the iPhone XR, it represents the best design compromise possible for the current technology, whereas the Pixel 3 XL notch is just there to exist. It's just there to copy a design element that was popularized on the iPhone X. It doesn't include any advanced sensors that aren't found in the normal Pixel 3. It doesn't stretch the screen to the outmost limits on the bottom of the phone. Everything about the Pixel 3 XL notch just screams to me that it wasn't designed with good intentions. It was just put there to have a notch like most of the flagship phones coming out today. And if this notch was really integral to the design of the Pixel 3 XL, they wouldn't let you turn it off in the software. That's why on the iPhone, they don't let you turn off the notch in the software. They know it's part of the design of the phone. They want you to embrace the notch. They want it to be seen in applications and stuff like that. On the Pixel 3 XL, they know that a lot of people won't like it, and it's not an important part of the actual design of the phone, that they just give you the option to turn it off. So from my standpoint, save $100, go for the Pixel 3 if you are an Android fan. If you're a Pixel fan and you're planning on buying the Pixel 3, I would just really stay away from that XL version. Okay guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a like. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I really want to know what you guys think about this notch on the Pixel 3 XL. I see so many negative comments about it online, so I really think a lot of you aren't probably going to argue with me, but hey, if you have a valid viewpoint, I really want to read it in the comments below, so make sure you let me know why. Also, again, we launched some merch for this site, so if you want to check out some of the new merchandise, make sure you check it out in the link in the description. And also, if you're interested in me reviewing the Pixel 3 XL in particular, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it or if I'm going to review it. I don't know if there's any interest out there. If you guys really want me to get it and do a review on it, just let me know in the comments below. I'm not sure if it's worth my time to actually take a look at, but if there's interest out there, if my fans want to see me review this phone, I'll definitely do it. So let me know in the comments below if you're interested in seeing me review the Pixel 3 XL. As always, guys, if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.